Nakapoy, na-open. At palupos, okay. Sok!
Oh yes, hello everyone and welcome to Asphere's Cafe. Today is Thursday, September 11, 2025. And yes, we are complete in our stage. We have Dreamcar who is back from his absence and look who's here with us. Trumaine. Hello Trumaine, welcome to the cafe.
Good evening, y'all. It's already 6:31 in the evening. Man, 9/11 is such a weird date for everyone who's tuning in right now at Asphere's Cafe, especially towards our fellow Americans. May this moment of a little bit of silence for y'all and a little respect of a wink for everybody else that's there that just lost their sudden identity. But you know what? Americans comes back up. So yeah, happy 9/11 day for those. Give respect to those people who just lost their lives that day. But yeah, happy anniversary to those people.
Yes. Okay, so before we begin, how are you all doing?
Of course, done with the meeting, so I'm going to need to borrow some of my classmates' laptop in order to make this thing happening. So yeah,
Meanwhile, on my end,
How about you, Trumaine?
it's nothing much. Just a typical day. Except my last class, which I was supposed to be late on this session, happens to dismiss us early. So, yay! I got into the session on time.
Awesome. Okay, so now let's start with the gaming cafe, ladies and gentlemen. And first, what the hell is Nintendo thinking? Is Nintendo getting greedier and greedier now? Because guess what? Nintendo now has a US patent on summoning characters and making them battle for you. Oh boy. So let's
Oh
get my
man.
screen share up right now.
Woof. Woof. Woof.
And you'll see it right here. Okay, here it is. So this is our first gaming cafe headline and also a discussion because man, people are very furious about this one. So yeah, let's get into that right now. And this is coming from Video Games Chronicle. So Nintendo has successfully acquired a US patent on a gameplay mechanic used in other games. As spotted by Games Fray, Nintendo was granted a patent last week which covers the action of summoning another character and making them battle on the player's behalf. Specifically, the patent describes a situation where a console or other system is being used to run a video game from storage. The player controls a character in a virtual space. The player can perform an input command to make a sub-character appear. For example, summon another character. If there's an enemy where the sub-character appears, the player can control a battle between the sub-character and the enemy. If there's no enemy where the sub-character appears, the sub-character will automatically move around. The player can move the sub-character to a different location on the field, and if an enemy is there, they can control a battle between the sub-character and the enemy. Well, the most obvious example of this pattern in action is a Pokemon game, where a player can summon Pokemon and use them to battle other Pokemon on their behalf. It could theoretically be interpreted to cover a number of other games. However, another example could be Nintendo's Pikmin series, where players summon Pikmin by either uprooting them or choosing them from the player's ship and moving them to different locations, triggering fights if they hit an enemy. And yes, as I have said earlier, there are already concerns that Nintendo's new patent could lead to a number of lawsuits in which it sues any other company that tries to implement a summoning mechanic in this game, putting future titles in series like Persona at risk. See that? Atlus has this kind of game mechanics where you do the where how the fighting mechanics work in Persona 5 or whatever the other Persona game does. However, whereas trademark law says that a company could lose its trademark if it doesn't challenge any infringements, this isn't the case with patents. While Nintendo has patented this mechanic, it can choose not to pursue any other company that decides to use it, and only so when it feels its own IP is being threatened. And yes, this was the case with Powell, which has seen accusations of plagiarizing from the Pokemon games ever since its release in early 2024. Nintendo and the Pokemon Company filed a lawsuit against Pocket Pair in Japan last year, alleging that Powell infringes on 3 patents that are related to monster catching gameplay, including summoning balls, throwing balls spears, and using balls as vehicles like gliders. So, yeah, I don't know because there are so many games that have this thing, and imagine imagine gacha games getting hit by Nintendo. Right? Imagine, just imagine.
Yeah, definitely.
Even the
Alright.
even the idol RPG too, mind you, even the idol RPG. Remember that.
Oof.
So, yeah, what do you all think about this, Chumain?
Okay, I'll be honest though. At this point, Nintendo's trying to be like Ferrari at this point, or maybe not Ferrari, maybe a famous car brand that they don't allow their owners to like do something with it. And now that Nintendo is like patenting, um, is now doing this patent thing, it's gonna be a lot complicated to deal with at this point. So, good luck.
Good luck to
That
that.
was
Yeah,
the
good
same
luck.
comment for Truman.
So yeah, I don't know, man. Not looking good. And yes, before we take a quick break from the gaming cafe, and yes, we have the Nintendo Direct that is coming tomorrow, September 12th. So, and what can we expect? An hour of updates on Nintendo Switch 2 and Nintendo Switch games. You heard that right, ladies and gentlemen. Nintendo will host a Nintendo Direct broadcast tomorrow at here 9 p.m. Local time. Well, 6 a.m. Pacific time and 9 a.m. Eastern time, featuring approximately 60 minutes of updates on upcoming Nintendo Switch 2 and Nintendo Switch games, which was announced by Nintendo of America on X. So yeah, mark your calendars because we are going to be curious on what will the developers bring to the Nintendo Switch 2 and the Nintendo Switch. What are they going to cook? We'll have to. We will have some predictions on the random discussions of Asphere's Cafe tomorrow before it's a what segment. All right, so Trumaine, and Dreamcard, do you have any predictions? What are they? What you can expect for Nintendo Direct tomorrow?
It's nothing more or less, but it's very interesting though.
Nintendo Direct, maybe another Super Mario thing. That's all I could say.
You're expecting you're expecting another first party game, right?
Yeah, another Super Mario game for sure. I mean, it's their best brand. They forgot about Tetris.
Very true. All right. 6:40 p.m. and I am trying to control the TOC at the moment. It's very laggy, I know. But yeah, we're going to return with more gaming happenings with Gaming Cafe. And after the break, Chumin will lead the rest of the Gaming Cafe headlines. So you get to hear more from him. So stay tuned. But with that, Asphere's Cafe will be right back.
This program is brought to you by Del Sound, Asper's Aircon, Dream Cars Pizza, Pinoy Coffee, Melody Mart, Cheneton C Plus, the Word, 6.1.
This program was brought to you by Del Sound, dedicated in providing the best karaoke players in the Philippines and catering to the Filipinos' love for music. Del Sound, sing with confidence. Asphere's Aircon, tried, tested, trusted by an asparagus. Dream Cars Pizza, we make pizza the Dream Cars way. Call 141-9191 for deliveries. Also available, Dream Cars Frozen Pizza in supermarkets near you. Pinoy Coffee. If it's coffee, it's Pinoy Coffee from FES Manufacturing Corporation. Shenatron Synplus. Reimagine karaoke with XTSP. Celebrating 10 years. Together since 2015. And Melody Mart. Your everyday vibe for convenience.
Trust. It's a bond that is nurtured for years, from generation to generation. At Asphere, our greatest accomplishment is earning the trust of millions of satisfied users in the Philippines alone, making life cool and comfortable for over 100 years now.
Street side make it look easy.
Asphere, the air conditioning expert.
Make it look
Tried,
easy.
tested, trusted by an asparagus.
Asphere's Aircon, tried, tested, trusted by an asparagus.
One time, there's a confrontation about sushi and pizza, but then there was a solution.
Bro, I said let's get sushi.
No way. Pizza beats raw fish every time.
Why not both? Gooey cheese, spicy mayo, seaweed, salmon. Introducing Sushi Baked Pizza.
Whoa.
Creamy, savory, sushi-inspired toppings baked on a perfect crust. Sushi Baked Pizza. 9-inch at 250, 11-inch at 450. Only at Dream Cars Pizza. We make pizza the Dream Cars way.
You paid this time.
No way. You wanted sushi?
Call 141-9191 for deliveries.
Dream Cars Pizza. We make pizza the Dream Cars way. Call 141-9191 for deliveries. Also available, Dream Cars Frozen Pizza in supermarkets near you.
Dream Car Karaoke po, tuwing pagising mo sa umaga, kailangan mo ng kapeng gigisingin ka sa tapang at sarap.
Tikman ang lasa ng bayan sa bagong Pinoy Coffee.
Tama-tama lang ang tapang at sarap.
Tikman na ang lasa ng bayan sa bagong Pinoy Coffee. If it's coffee, it's Pinoy Coffee.
Masarap na coffee. If it's coffee, it's Pinoy Coffee.
Also available, Pinoy Coffee 3-in-1 and Pure Creme. Bili na sa inyong mga suking tindahan.
Pinoy Coffee. If it's coffee, it's Pinoy Coffee from FES Manufacturing Corporation.
I've been enjoying karaoke since when I was a kid. I was really amazed that XTSP is really evolving since the very beginning. And now, here I am today, endorsing the future of karaoke. Prisma SD, sleek and modern system. High-quality multimedia console, over 45,000 songs to choose from. It has everything. You can have your TV and convert it into a smart TV. Additionally, you can connect it to a keypad as well. It really functions like an Android with its Android-based system. Prisma SD is my go-to preference than any other brands elsewhere.
We reimagine karaoke with Cheneton Synplus for 10 years. Together since 2015.
Shenatron Synplus. Reimagine karaoke with XTSP. Celebrating 10 years. Together since 2015.
New, ang sarap ng onigiri sa Melody Mart. Ang sarap ng onigiri sa Melody Mart. Ang sarap ng onigiri sa Melody Mart. Ang sarap ng onigiri sa Melody Mart.
Subukan niyo na ang Melody Mart Onigiris. Maraming fillings na pwedeng pagpilian. May classics, locals, at premium fillings na suwag magpapasaya ng tiyan niyo.
Overload onigiri sa Melody Mart. Overload onigiri sa Melody Mart.
Biking, meron rin tayong Overload Onigiris na mas pinalaki, mas maraming fillings.
Price starts at 55 pesos. Bumili ka ng onigiri sa Melody Mart.
Melody Mart Onigiris. Price starts at 55 pesos. Available in Melody Mart outlets nationwide.
Melody Mart, your everyday vibe for convenience. Does your credit card earn you free miles on everyday expenses? Does your credit card allow you to fly for free to international destinations? Does your credit card have all the aforementioned, but with a waive annual fee for the first 3 years? You wouldn't have to worry while answering those questions anymore. Introducing the CFV Filipino Jet Cross World Credit Card, the only card in the Philippines that not only earns you miles the fastest way for only 45 pesos per mile, but has also no annual fee for the first 3 years. Earning free flights had never been easier. Apply now at your nearest CFV branch or apply online via the CFV online banking app. Only from CFV. Express the freedom of banking. CFV is regulated by the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas. CFV is a proud member of Crosslink. CFV. Express the freedom of banking. A member of Crosslink and supervised by the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas. Do you think soda pop just means soda and soda only? Allow to introduce our new fruit milk series. 4 fantastic flavors to choose from. Mango, blueberry, green apple, and strawberry. Only for a cheap price that starts at 39 pesos. And if you want your soda go even more poppy and bittersweet, add some fill in it with soju or gin. Just add 12 pesos and enjoy the ride with soda pop. Pop the party with flavor, where every sip is a celebration. Soda Pop, now with flavors of strawberry, blueberry, green apple, raspberry, and more. Starting at 39 pesos. Soda Pop, pop the party with flavor, where every sip is a celebration.
Tumigas ba ang junjun mo? PA Condoms, di agad makakalabas sa puting ahas. Pag naka-PA Condoms ka, tara, lagyan mo niyan si Junjun ng kapote. Pa di lalaki ang tiyan ng partner mo. Mabibili ninyo ang kapote pa kay Junjun sa Jor A Supermarket at sa mga suki ninyong tindahan at mall malapit sa inyong lugar. Nako, 20 pesos lang yan. Pili na!
PA Condoms, hindi makakalabas ang puting ahas. PA Condoms, mabibili sa Jor A Supermarket at sa mga suking tindahan at mall malapit sa inyong lugar.
Ngayong tag-ulan, siguraduhin mong protektado ang iyong tahanan mula sa tagas. Gamitin ang Minto Typhoon Resistant Sealant. Subok sa tibay, siguradong kapit kahit sa pinakamalalakas na ulan. Para sa bubong, bintana, pader at kahit saan man may tagas, Minto ang sagot. Minto Sealants, tunay na tatagal mula sa Truta.
Red Horse Super! Bakit ang sarap mag-shot ng Red Horse Super?
Kasi bawat shot kasama ang tropa.
Red Horse Super, ang shot ng tropa. Pinalakas na tropa, pinasuper na Red Horse. Red Horse Super! Drink responsibly.
Welcome back to Asphere's Cafe. It is now 6:50 p.m. and now it's time for the Gaming Coffee Headlines with our fellow co-host, Shumei. Let's go!
Good evening, guys. 6:50 already in the evening, and are you ready for another round coming over here towards our gaming corner? Put on your Xbox, plug in your PlayStations, because it's time now to dive deep into all of the news lately within the week. You know, I'm kind of like excited about this because we have a lot to talk about, despite not having much of like crazy announcements. But still, this one's actually quite surprising because the first one we have is. Yes, you heard it right. Genshin and Among Us have finally been teased by Hoyoverse and Inner Slot. Wow. Can you guys believe it? I'm not sure if this is gonna be a lore accurate one or not, but you know what? We're just gonna put it in as is. It appears that Hoyoverse's hit gacha game Genshin Impact is crossing over with Inner Slot's hit social deduction game Among Us, or as everybody calls it. The crossover was teased on social media today, with Inner Slot taking the lead by tweeting that someone's been stirring up trouble in the Skilled. The tweet or X illustration depicted the silhouette of Paimon as a shadow being cast by a red crewmate from Amogus. Oh boy, this week Hoyoverse and Inner Slot teased a crossover between Genshin Impact and Among Us. Inner Slot initiated the tease on Twitter or X with an image post depicting a red crewmate being surprised at their own shadow which resembled Paimon. Yes, Paimon, which is Genshin's famous mascot character. But to those who are playing Genshin, we all know the issue behind Paimon before, so let's keep that on the low for now. But yes, Genshin replied with this very image of which Paimon sort of side-eyed for a second before feeling suspicious of what just happened. Inner Slot tweet, so yes, the official Genshin Impact accounts repost read, suspicious, very suspicious. Or as the gaming community would call it, clearly there are some crossover shenanigans brewing. While Hoyoverse's Genshin Impact account hasn't been particularly active in replying to comments, Inner Slot has not been quite as shy. The account has nonetheless been as vague as possible in its comments, telling users welcome back, and that lying would be on brand, I guess? Despite these cryptic comments, it's more likely than not that players are getting an Among Us x Genshin Impact collab. Whether the collab involves more than just a few cosmetics in Among Us remains to be seen, though should be noted that Genshin Impact is getting a rather big update in its near future, making for a perfect timing for a collab, one might say. And yes, Genshin Impact version Luna 1 is set to go live. Yes, it already went live yesterday. What do you guys think about this? Leave it in the comments below. And as always, I ask my fellow co-hosts Cairo and Dreamcar, what do you think about this collaboration? Like wild.
Meme, of course. Lamaw, na meme.
Unexpected collaboration. Let's be real here. The collaboration is very unexpected.
Very, very unexpected indeed. Especially by the fact that, we all know, to those who have been following Genshin's lore, we all know that Paimon might be the god that everybody thinks she is. But so having this collaboration is a lot crazy. But, we're not going to last long for this one because we still have a lot of news to go ahead and take a look at, because our next one is for those hoopers right at the moment, because right now Basketball Classics is coming to Switch, which is only currently available for PC. So, publisher Acclaim and developer Namco Gamo will release 8-bit 5-on-5 pro basketball game Basketball Classics for Switch, the companies had announced. A specific date was not yet announced. So to those who have been playing this game since the earlier days, yes, it is back, everybody. So yes, Basketball Classics was first launched in early access for PC via Steam on March 24th, 2018, followed by a full release on December 18th, 2019. For an overview of the game, it is a 5-on-5 pro basketball born from the golden era of sports games. The ritual successor to the 8-bit ballers bridges the gap between retro and today's simulation games. Side-scrolling arcade action is paired up with the on-the-fly strategy. Three-button gameplay is easy to pick up, but it is the dynamic play calling that elevates this title beyond just long bombs and acrobatics. Attribute-rich players make up a vast set of rosters. Dig through decades of teams to find your favorite all-stars and even unlock the legends in an immersive story mode. This game is a passion project for us indie developers there at Namogamo. They are hoping that we all feel the love that is put into every pixel, the endless adjustments to every stat-driven gameplay, and the genuinely retro sound and music. As for the key features, I'm not gonna dive into them much, but you get the side-scrolling sweaty arcade action, decades of rosters with over 175 teams, over 1,000 players with individualized attributes, and one of my favorites, one-player story mode unlocks secret teams, which means this is pretty much like career mode in NBA 2K. Looking at our crazy trailer over here, I don't know why it's not playing, but here it is. Slam dunk, everybody. This is 8-bit classic. You know those SNES games or those that are like playing between Nintendo game boxes and all that before even the PlayStations comes in? Yeah, this is the kind of game that you might wanna come back to because, if everybody wants a bit of nostalgia, this is your gameplay. So what do y'all think of this? And as always, leave it in the comments down below. Cairo, what you think of this first? Or Dreamcar, go ahead.
This might be interesting. Well, there's a lot of characters to see there. Nothing much more.
Yeah. How about you, Dreamcar? What can you say about this 8-bit game coming back to life?
You meant Cairo.
Oh yeah, Cairo coming in. my bad.
Oh yeah. It's cool, honestly, and the fact that it's in 8-bit reminds me of NES style game pretty much.
Yes. My excitement is like through the roof on this one because everybody grew up. Everybody in the 2000s know that NBA 2K is the GOAT when it comes to basketball games. Correct me if I'm wrong, but don't murder me in the comments. But anyway, it's kind of crazy that something like this coming back from the SNES days is making a revival for those who wanted a bit of nostalgia plus a little bit of modern realism on there. But anyway, moving on to our next one. Heads up to the PlayStation family because the app is now available for iOS and Android, which is a parental control companion app. Now, Sony Interactive Entertainment has announced the PlayStation Family Parental Control Companion app for iOS and Android. It's available now via App Store and Google Play. Alright. So, accordingly to their overview, they said download PlayStation Family from Google Play or the App Store to keep track of your child's gaming at a glance. With an easy-to-use activity report, simple parental controls, and real-time info direct to your phone, PlayStation Family app takes the hassle out of parenting on PlayStation. So to those those who are video game addicts that are still under the age of 10, keep a lookout, you guys, and plan your gaming times thoroughly. Now, with an easy setup, customizable playtime, activity report, real-time notifications, and spending, you might want to be really careful now, kids, because if your game playing lasts more than 4 hours, oh boy, you're gonna get a beating out of it. Maybe you might even get a grounded on this one. So, good luck to those who are actually going for it. But yes, as you're seeing right now to my screen, you can see that there's a lot of information up here for you to be like really afraid of right now, kids, because parents are gonna track down how long are you playing. If you're so into like finishing that one quest in Genshin, or even like finishing a nostalgia gameplay on GTA Online, heads up because they're gonna be limiting your schedules a lot more lately. Or if you have a very careless parent, then I guess this is just nothing to you. Anyway, what are your thoughts in the comments? Go ahead and tell them right now, and as my co-host would now say,
Yeah.
family app. That is something. Just like the Nintendo Switch, but this one is a little bit more robust.
Yeah, honestly. Kyra, what do you think?
This one for PlayStation introducing the parental controls app or calling it as family app. Well, I do hope that parents will make a good use of this app because yeah, more people are spending time playing video games nowadays. So yeah.
Yep. So, to those kids who are watching right now, who's tuning in towards to Asphere's Cafe, get your heads up because once parents know about this app, everybody's screwed. So, good luck for your gaming timings. So, let's move along to another PlayStation announcement. PlayStation Plus game catalog and classics catalog lineup for September 2025 has been announced. That is Persona 5 Tactica, Fate Samurai Remnant, and Legacy of Kain, Defiance, and more. So, yes, the same company has announced the September 2025 game catalog lineup for extra and premium subscribers and classics catalog titles for premium subscribers. So, we're not gonna dive too much into it. We're just gonna read the most important parts. First up, we got Conscript, which is set in 1916 during the Great War. You play as a French soldier searching for his missing in action brother during the Battle of Verdun. It is a survival horror game inspired by the classics of the genre, blending all the punishing mechanics of older horror games into a cohesive, tense, and unique experience. Ooh, that is like a mixture of horror plus history. I don't know what's gonna happen on that one. Next up, we got Crow Country, which is the creators of celebrated point-and-click murder mystery Tangle Tower returns with a retro-inspired survival horror set in an abandoned theme park. Oh boy. 2 years after he suddenly closes park, a mysterious young woman called Mara Forrest arrives to explore the abandoned property to find its lost owner. So why did the Crow really shut down Crow Country? And what is Mara Forrest's connection to him? Probably the father or the uncle. You know, it's kind of like Five Nights at Freddy's, but this is more of a kid who's directly checking it out. Anyway, moving on. So it's a Fate Samurai Remnant that's going to be available on these platforms right here. Your wish shall perish. A Holy Grail war begins in Edo, Japan. The curtain rises on a new Fate, an action RPG presented by Tide Moon and Koei Tecmo Games. Fourth year of the Heian era, Edo period. It has been several decades since the end of a turbulent, blood-soaked era. People were enjoying peace and tranquility, but a battle between 7 pairs of masters and servants is about to begin as the waxing moon ritual unfolds in the shadows. Wow, this is gonna be crazy. Next up, we got Green Hell, which is an open-world survival simulator set in the unique and uncharted setting of the Amazonian rainforest. Use real-life survival techniques to craft, hunt, fight, and gather resources. Build a makeshift shelter or raise a fortress, but always remember to tend to your wounds and maintain mental health. This is like your very own survival game. That's gonna be crazy. Next up, we have The Invincible, which is about a highly qualified, sharp-witted biologist named Yasna. Being entangled in the space race, you and your crew end up on the unexplored planet Regis 3rd. Or Regis 3. The scientific journey quickly turns into a search mission for lost crewmates. Follow its trail, but be fully aware that every decision you make can bring you closer to danger. So it's gonna give you the thrill. If you chose wrong, you're gonna get your fate involved. Moving on to Persona 5 Tactica. Persona 5 Tactica is a turn-based strategy game featuring an all-new story, the return of fan-favorite characters, and brand new allies and foes. Now, surrounded by a military group named Legionnaires, they find themselves in grave danger until a mysterious revolutionary named Arena rescues them and offers an enticing deal in exchange for their help. What truth lies behind Arena and the deal she offers to the Phantom Thieves? we should join the group altogether. And finally comes towards to one of the classic ones that are coming from 2K. It's WWE 2K25. The wise man Paul Heyman hosts the Bloodlines Dynasty, a new 2K showcase celebrating one of the most historic family dynasties in wrestling. Intergender wrestling makes its long-awaited WWE 2K debut alongside the return of chain wrestling, underground and bloodline rules match types, barricade diving, and more. Take control of your superstar from the women's or men's division in a singular multi-gender Myrai storyline where WWE superstars infiltrate NXT and attempt to control of the WWE universe. What do you all think of this? Leave it down towards the comment below. And before we even continue on, in our little in our co-host over here, we forgot to mention about the PlayStation 2. PlayStation 2. That's crazy. Legacy of Kain, Defiance, of which it is bound to continue Kain and Raziel's epic conflict in this fateful emulation of the classic PS2 action adventure title Legacy of Kain, Defiance. Playable on PS4 and 5 for the first time. So, to cut things short, each are equipped with their own legendary sword. Kain and Raziel must battle through a world poisoned by conflict and intrigue as they attempt to unravel their destinies and defeat the dark forces that seek to condemn their world to eternal damnation. Cairo and Dreamcar, what do y'all think of these new titles?
No comment from me.
Kyra? Alright,
no comment from me. Same.
Yeah.
No comment.
Yeah, don't worry about it. Alright, so without further ado, let's go ahead and do a quick one on our next one as we have Pragmata. Preview that was just previewed way back at PAX West 2025. So, trapped in the lunar station on the moon by an AI gone rogue, it's up to Hugh and his android companion Diana to survive, overcoming the challenges of the AI that controls this lunar facility and escape back to Earth. Pragmata looks to be fairly ambitious, but how does it play? Accordingly towards the preview done by Niche Gamer, as a scientist, Q's ability to do much against the ultra-armored robots in the lunar space station is pretty limited. In the demo, he's accompanied by an android girl named Diana who is able to hack both the enemy robots as well as the environmental triggers in order to solve puzzles and give Hugh a fighting chance. So, as an engineer in a lockdown research facility armed with some weapons and battling against a slew of enemies is a basic premise that would remind gamers of all sorts of other games, even reaching as far as Doom 3. So Pragmata brings a twist of being as much of an earlier puzzle game as it is an action shooter with platforming elements. As they mentioned earlier, the robots are all covered in a super protective armor that renders the majority of used weaponry fairly wordless of its own merit. So, as you can see towards the pictures right up here, this is what you get towards in the demo. So, accordingly, weapons were scattered throughout the demo as they played, though the one they used the most was a defensive weapon which traps enemies in a forest net that restricted their movement. Very curious to see what the rest of the weapons would look like once the game is fully released. So that is coming from Pragmata. What do y'all think of this game, guys?
Nothing much to say more.
Kyra?
Nothing much to say really. Same really.
Yeah, honestly,
yeah.
That's true. Well, before I wrap up this round of gaming news, here we have our last one coming from Slime Heroes launching at PlayStation this month. So publisher Whitethorn Games and developer Pancake Games announced a release date for the PlayStation Ports planned for Slime Heroes, their slime-themed action-adventure game. The Slime Adventure game is coming towards the PlayStation consoles this month, particularly on September 16th. As if you may remember, Slime Heroes made its debut on February 13, 2025 via Steam and Xbox Series XS, with a Switch port later down in July. So to cut you down shortly, this is pretty much what you get towards in what they have in store. So journey with your fellow slimes to save the ancient guardians from a mysterious corruption taking over the land. Explore a whimsical world filled with secret passageways, challenging puzzle dungeons, and forgotten treasures. As its features, I'm not going to dive into all of them, you get dynamic abilities, the ability to co-op, and the expansive world that it gets. So here is the video, and as you can see, it's really crazy. It kind of reminds me of like Mobile Legends or what is Dota again? I can't remember. I can't remember that, but you know, Dota, LOL, and every other like, you know, RPG game that all Filipinos would be playing. So what do y'all think of this? Leave it in the comments down below, and that's all coming from me. Back to you, Kyle.
Characters are very interesting. So yeah, how about this, Paragon?
Same here, very interesting. Thank you very much, Truman. It is now 7:11 p.m. as we will record gaming coffee sessions featuring me right here on Asphere's Cafe. We will be right back.
Don't go away.
It's now 7:11. Our sponsor.
This program was brought to you by Dell Sound, dedicated in providing the best karaoke players in the Philippines and catering to the Filipinos' love for music. Dell Sound, sing with confidence. Asphere's Aircon, tried, tested, trusted by an asparagus. Dream Cars Pizza, we make pizza the Dream Cars way. Call 141-9191 for deliveries. Also available, Dream Cars Frozen Pizza in supermarkets near you. Capinoy Coffee. If it's coffee, it's Capinoy Coffee from FVS Manufacturing Corporation. Shenatron Synplus. Reimagine karaoke with XTSP. Celebrating 10 years. Together since 2015. And Melody Mart. Your everyday vibe for convenience.
Trust. It's a bond that is nurtured for years, from generation to generation. At Asphere, our greatest accomplishment is earning the trust of millions of satisfied users in the Philippines alone, making life cool and comfortable for over 100 years now.
Street side make it look easy.
Asphere, the air conditioning expert. Tried, tested, trusted by an asparagus.
Asphere's Aircon, tried, tested, trusted by an asparagus.
One time, there's a confrontation about sushi and pizza, but then there was a solution.
Bro, I said let's get sushi.
No way. Pizza beats raw fish every time.
Why not both? Gooey cheese, spicy mayo, seaweed, salmon. Introducing Sushi Baked Pizza.
Whoa.
Creamy, savory, sushi-inspired toppings baked on a perfect crust. Sushi Baked Pizza, 9-inch at 250, 11-inch at 450. Only at Dream Cars Pizza. We make pizza the Dream Cars way.
You paid this time.
No way. You wanted sushi.
Call 141-9191 for deliveries.
Dream Cars Pizza. We make pizza the Dream Cars way. Call 141-9191 for deliveries. Also available, Dream Cars Frozen Pizza in supermarkets near you.
Dream Car Karaoke po, tuwing pagising mo sa umaga, kailangan mo ng kapeng gigisingin ka sa tapang at sarap.
Tikman ang lasa ng bayan sa bagong Capinoy Coffee.
Tama-tama lang ang tapang at sarap.
Tikman na ang lasa ng bayan sa bagong Capinoy Coffee. If it's coffee, it's Capinoy Coffee.
Masarap na coffee. If it's coffee, it's Capinoy Coffee.
Also available, Capinoy Coffee 3-in-1 and Pure Creme. Bili na sa inyong mga suking tindahan.
Capinoy Coffee. If it's coffee, it's Capinoy Coffee from FVS Manufacturing Corporation.
And now, here's Gab Ansaldo to share some big news for you. Take it away, Gab.
Prisma SD, sleek and modern system, high-quality multimedia console, over 45,000 songs to choose from. It has everything. You can have your TV and convert it into a smart TV. Additionally, you can connect it to a keypad as well. Prisma SD is my go-to preference than any other brands elsewhere.
And that's why Gabansaldo chooses Shanatan Sit Plus. We reimagine karaoke for 10 years, together since 2015.
Shenatron Sin Plus. Reimagine karaoke with XTSP. Celebrating 10 years. Together since 2015.
New, ang sarap ng onigiri sa Melody Mart. Ang sarap ng onigiri sa Melody Mart. Ang sarap ng onigiri sa Melody Mart. Ang sarap ng onigiri sa Melody Mart.
Subukan niyo na ang Melody Mart Onigiris. Maraming feelings na pwedeng pagpilian. May classics, locals, at premium feelings na suwag magpapasaya ng sanyo.
Overload onigiri sa Melody Mart. Overload onigiri sa Melody Mart.
Bikin, meron na tayong Overload Onigiris na mas pinalaki, mas maraming feelings.
Price starts at 55 pesos. Bumili na ng onigiri sa Melody Mart.
Melody Mart Onigiris. Price starts at 55 pesos. Available in Melody Mart outlets nationwide.
Melody Mart, your everyday vibe for convenience.
H-E-R-R-Y, good ingredients are hard to find.
Whoa. I'm gonna have to stop you there, Aya. Because good ingredients are now easy to find. With a Sunrise Beam online app, you can order from your nearest Sunrise Mall with more than 50 plus stores available and get it delivered right in front of your doorstep. Order your goods from Joy A Supermarket, Joy A Department Store, Melody Mart, PVC Drug, and more. Download the Sunrise Beam online app now and take advantage of convenience.
Dito na tayo sa Joy-A, kung saan lahat ay okay. Sa Joy-A, lahat ito ay super mura, lahat pang mapaganda dito sa Joy-A. Napatunayan na ng bayan, wala nang ang iba. Quality shopping ang aming dala. Mapapa-Joy-A talaga kayo, ang supermarket namin ay Joy-A.
Joy A Supermarket, ang budget-friendly supermarket ng Pilipinas. Now in 6,900 locations around the Philippines and Southeast Asia.
Nasaan si Piang?
Dito na po, direct.
Okay, standby. Live sound, take one.
Vita-Keratin. May vitamins na, may keratin pa. For only 670 pesos.
Take two.
Vita-Keratin. May vitamins na, may keratin pa. For only 670 pesos.
Take three.
Vita-Keratin. May vitamins na, may keratin pa. For only 670 pesos. Teka, 670 lang? Eh di take 50 sachets of Vita-Keratin na.
Vita-Keratin. With regular use, gandang sa long-lasting hair for only 670 SRP.
Partner!
Yep!
Mahilig ka rin ba mag-uwi ng pagkain para sa pamilya mo? Ako kasi, pag may handaan, nagsasharon ako para may mauwi sa kanila.
Ako rin, pero para sa akin lang yung sinasharon ko. Pero alam mo, very Filipino nga naman talaga yung pag-alaga sa pamilya, di ba?
Tama. Lalo na tag-ulan na. Baka mamaya may lagnat at sipon na si Bunso. At alam mo bang may tawag dyan? Pwedeng flu yan. Kaya dapat mag-bio-flu.
So pwedeng flu pala. Paano kung si asawa may sakit ng katawan at sore throat?
Pwedeng flu rin yan, partner.
Okay.
Basta may 2 symptoms, pwedeng flu yan. Dapat mag-bio-flu agad. Lalabanan lahat ng sintomas ng flu sa halagang 8 pesos and 50 centavos SRP lang. Alagaan natin ang ating pamilya, lalo na ngayong tag-ulan. Pag may 2 symptoms, pwedeng flu yan. Mag-bio-flu na. Phenylephrine HCl chlorpheniramine maleate paracetamol is the generic name of bio-flu. If symptoms persist, consult your doctor.
Kung dinner, anong nangyari? Kumakain lang tayo tapos bigla kang nagka-toothache, tama? Tayo ay nasa fine dining restaurant. Kaya pag may toothache, imbis na sumigaw ng, aray, grabe tong toothache ko, uminom ka ng Dolphinal. Meron itong bilis relief na subok na that works in as fast as 15 minutes. Subok na rin ito for 36 years. At ito rin ang most prescribed mefenamic acid brand ayon sa IQVIA PMDI sa MAT December 2024. Huwag hayaang sirain ng toothache ang pagpunta mo sa fave mong restaurant o kahit anong moment, period. Ang tawag dyan, pakikisama. Basta toothache, mag-Dolphinal. Mefenamic acid is the generic name of Dolphinal. If symptoms persist, consult your doctor.
ahead and ask this cafe.
Welcome back to Asphere's Cafe. It is now 7:20 p.m. as we now continue with the gaming cafe with me. So, now this is gonna be a little bit too sensitive. There we go. So yeah, it's going to be a little bit sensitive because U.S. politician has spoken about video games that is related to mass shooting, and that is by the name Robert F. Kennedy Jr. So yeah, this is gonna be a little bit on the sensitive side on this one. So yeah, let's get into that right now. Okay, so let's enlarge this right here. Okay, so let's take a read what Robert F. Kennedy Jr. has to say about video games. So, in a recent press conference, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. listed video games as a potential cause for recent mass shootings alongside drugs and other factors. And if you're wondering who he is the U.S. Secretary of Health and Human Services under the Trump administration. Discussions about violent media and the potential impact they may have on individuals in this stress have been going on for decades. So, this is him talking about mass shootings that can be linked to video games. And yes, it's already been community noted right here. We're gonna read that later, but for now, this is what he has to say about the video games.
Switzerland has a comparable number of guns as we do, and the last mass shooting they had was 23 years ago. We're having mass shootings every 23 hours. Oh, there are many things.
Okay, a little bit apologies for the lag here. I mean, my internet is not that great, but this is basically what he said there. There are many things. Oh, whoops. What did I just do? Anyway, so yeah, there are many things that happened in the 1990s that could explain this. Well, I have to say, I respectfully disagree with his take because, yeah, no. I don't think so, bro. I don't think so. So yeah, that is the U.S. politician listing video games as related to the recent mass shooting, which really. Alright, so let's move on to the next one now, and that is the Fuckable manga build roguelike, which is set to launch on November 5. Roguelike deck builder, the Fuckable manga build roguelike will launch for Nintendo Switch and PC by Steam on November 5. Publisher Kodansha and developer Mono Entertainment announced. It will support English, Japanese, and simplified Chinese language options. So we have English, Japanese, and simplified Chinese. We're gonna look at the English trailer because why not? And we wanna see how the gameplay looks like. So here is basically the series saying it is finally made into the game, of course. Oh, whoops. And from there you can see, okay, yeah, my internet is not great because again, my connection is being throttled, so it's here. And I'm running a little bit out of time here because I have to be quick because we need to we need to do the question of the day soon. So, yeah. And it looks like it's struggling to load after all. So, yeah, unfortunately, the trailer it's taking a while to load, so I cannot waste too much time on that. But if we hover over right here, you can see this is what we can expect with the game for the Fubble. And there we go, now it loaded. But that took long, but still. But you can see, yeah, this is also collecting manga art and RPG at the same time. Pretty interesting concept to me. So what do you think about what do you guys think about the Fubble manga Build Like Watch Like, which is set to be released in 2 months from now? Jumaine, let's start.
I'll be honest though, this is like one of them interactive storytelling sort of like adventure game. You write your own story, you write the ending, and then you encounter something along the way that could ruin that very story. So, it's gonna be crazy concept.
Right? Very interesting, huh? How about you, Jimcar?
Same here.
Alright. Okay, now I can finally stop the screen sharing. And now, the moment we all have been waiting for, it's time for the question of the day. Yes, we're bringing the question of the day. I should say this is the first time we haven't done it in our show for a while. So, this is the question for all of you to answer. Is $20 a justifiable price for video game industry in a wake-up call to Hollow Knight Sing Song? If you don't know what Hollow Knight Sing Song is, basically that game exploded in launch everywhere. eShop, Nintendo eShop, Steam, Xbox, PlayStation, all crushed. And why is that? Very high demand. And because the price is very reasonable. So that is why the indie game developer set the price to $20. And people have been saying, yes, the game is worth it. You guys should play Silksong. Cool. So, and yeah, now some developers are freaking out because of how successful the Hollow Knight Silksong is doing. So, let me ask you a question now. Is $20 a justifiable price for the video game industry in a wake-up call to Hollow Knight Silksong? Let's start with you, Chumi.
Alright, I'm gonna be really honest over here. The price is well reasonable. That's for one. It sort of like have this when it comes to us, because there's like a lot of tax increase towards to many of our games here. But to be fair, $20 is like 1,000 pesos here, and many of our games are like 300 pesos in here. So while it does sound a little bit too much, if you're gonna consider the effort that they have done and the anticipation that it actually built, maybe it is worth it for some people. Maybe it is not worth it for a lot of people. But for me, I do think it's reasonable, because if you can't get a game that's about $30 to $40, I don't know what will. I'm looking at you, EA Games.
Very well said. Dreamcar, how about you?
The only thing to expect about a $20 game is how good the quality of the game is, how fascinating the gameplay is, how the sound, the music, the graphics, the context, and how the game supposedly would work. So for the $20, very interesting.
There you have it. So that is from our co-host answer to today's question of the day. To the rest of the audience here on Cool FM, I am asking you now, before we wrap up the cafe, is $20 a justifiable price for the video game industry in a wake-up call to Hollow Knight Sing-Son? Write it down now in the chat or in the Cool FM stage chat. That's the time you can start answering to this question. It is now exactly 7:30 p.m. and that is all for Asphere's Cafe tonight. Thank you so much for joining us. And starting tomorrow, we will be introducing a revamped segment of the Chinese knockoff called What? That's right. So that is the brand new segment hosted by Dreamcar, which is going to be all about Chinese knockoffs he finds, and it's going to be officially titled as It's a What? So stay tuned for that. So this has been Asphere's Cafe. I am Cairo.
True man, you.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. As well, before we wrap it up, I gotta be saying though, I'm quite excited with the new segment coming up towards Asphere's Cafe. I hope you find Fangsin you in there. Once again, I'm Tremaine as well.
And I'm Dream Car. The cafe is now closed. Gaot ang kuga.
That's correct. See you tomorrow. Goodbye.
Asphere's Cafe is with us by the entertainment and social media. Dream Car speaking.